Hi everyone, welcome to your week 8. This is your Watch Me First for week 8, which is going to be posted right on the very top over here. For your week 8 is the draft 1 of your literature review is due. So you are now actually going to write the literature review. Your literature review has to be 7 to 8 pages long, double spaced, excluding the cover page and the references. One of the things that happens with the literature review is there is sometimes flagged as plagiarism. Students think that they have cited the person so they can still use the same wording that is there in the article. If you have 4 to 5 words in the same order as it is in the article, even if you are citing it, it's a direct quote. You have to paraphrase, you have to combine ideas from different authors to actually do it. Okay, it is really important for you to understand that aspect of it. You are only allowed 2 direct quotes in the whole paper. Everything else has to be paraphrased. Another thing that students struggle with is they will start writing about one article and the whole paragraph would be about one article or one research, then about another one, and then about another one. That is not called a critical analysis. That is called a summary, because you are summarizing the research that you have read, each of the research separately. It becomes like an annotated bibliography or an extended one. So when you are writing an idea, let's say Intro to Research is the first class for research. Who all have said that? All the professors, right? Gupta, Capps, Manuel, all of those professors that teach Intro to Research. So you have to say Gupta 2022, Capps 2020. So all of those things have to be there. Okay, so let me give you examples of what I'm trying to say. So here is your literature review format. I give you a format of it for you to add ideas. It's a Word document, download it. This is really important, the introduction, 1 to 2 paragraphs, which talks about has 2 to 3 evidence, supporting evidence, your purpose, components of your topic is basically the headings of your literature review. So you are doing an outline. So think about the outline. What are the topics that you are going to be talking about in your literature review? And those become your sentence. This literature review will discuss, if I'm talking about math manipulatives, will discuss different types of math manipulatives, their benefits and need in a classroom, along with challenges posed. Okay, so you're talking about that. The last sentence would be your research question for this study is. Review of literature is your level 1 heading. It remains the same. And then here are your component 1 is your heading 1, component 2 is your heading 2, and all of those things. I am going to so what I did was I added the outline information and the sample again for you guys to have a little bit of an idea. Again, is the fact that introduction and review of literature will remain the same for every one of you. Those are level 1 headings for APA. And then you have level 2 and level 3 headings. So make sure when you do your literature review, you have the right level of headings and right bolding and all of those things. So if you look at it, I've purposefully not bolded here to actually check whether you guys do the APA correct or not. So when you write about that component, what is known about it, how is it known, is where the article and the researchers and all those things come in, and how is all that stuff goes in your component 1. So use your outlines to work on your lit review. And then in the end is what you have is called a summary. Summary is basically restating the purpose of your literature review, doing all of those things, because, and then even you can repeat your research question. You do not put a conclusion, because the conclusion comes when you do the data analysis and actually write a conclusion there. So this is going to be a summary. Some points to remember: no first person. I, my, our, us, none of those things. Only 2 direct quotes allowed throughout the paper. Okay, and remember how to do APA citations. keep the tense, either future tense or past tense. Okay. So if you have a full page, there should be a minimum of 3 citations. If you have a huge paragraph with only one author, then it's a summary and not synthesizing information. Okay. So I wrote some things over here is, so like sometimes we say this study shows us, but the study doesn't show. You're making something that does not have is not a person you personifying it. Okay. So study is not a living thing. So you have to say the results of the study show, or the researchers use the results to show, or researchers in the study interpreted, things like that. So that is one thing that you want to be careful about. Okay. And already one big thing is all the references that are in text have to be in your reference list. Okay. And that is really important, because there is no, if you look at the rubric for the research, I don't know what that meant. If you look at the rubric and you look at this one that says you can either get a 1 even if you're missing one of them, or you can get a 4. There is no in between. Okay, so this is the rubric that you have, and you can look at it. You will have draft 1, you will have draft 2, and you will get a score on both those drafts to see how you are progressing. 30% or more plagiarism will not be given a feedback, will not be allowed to do a redo. So be careful about it. You can act, you don't have to do anything. Once you submit into the Dropbox, it will automatically look for plagiarism and show you what is the plagiarism percentage. So if it is more, you're more than welcome to edit and do it. Now, you guys all were wondering, what is a literature review? How does it look like? So I actually put 2 examples of good literature reviews for you so that you guys can see how it looks like. So here is an introduction, talks about the article, and then you can see that this is a sentence that says, what will it discuss? Therefore, the research question explored is this. So you have to be, here's the review of the literature, and you can look that there are headings, and then within the headings you can see that there are several different authors talking about the same idea that is there, right? So this is their one direct quote that they had. Okay, so here is again, so you can see all of these researchers talk about this idea, so then they were synthesize the information. Okay, so this is an example of it. Then I have another example. And so I don't know why that. So this example actually is the same one for the way I did the outline of it, so that you can see how this was developed with the outline. So here's the review. So then you started writing within these ideas of it. So you have one, then you have several of these that you're talking about. Look at it, how it's talking about foundational ideas. This comes from this person, vocabulary comes from this one, rhyme comes from this one. And so this is what is called synthesis. This is level 3 heading, reading motivation. And this is level 3 heading. And then there are transition statements that are also going about. Okay. So this is what is about writing a lit review. So all this information is right over here. This Watch Me First goes on the very top, and here is your Dropbox. Best of luck. I'm really excited to actually read your literature reviews.